Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What did that one teacher, professor do to make your class unbearable? Removed. The first time I ever fell asleep in class was 7th grade English in the afternoon. Warm classroom. Old lady with a slow, monotone voice. Zero energy. Class always just dragged. Dead internet theory. My 6th grade English teacher made us tell the class our most embarrassing moment on the 10th day. Anyone who didn't say something believable had to write an essay on honesty and being open. My friend told about how she wet the bed at a sleepover last year and was bullied all year. Middle school sucked. Loudly crying. This terrible. My 8th grade teacher put questions in a bag and you had to pick one out and answer it. They included tell us about your first crush, talk about the first time you kissed someone, etc. It was embarrassing, but it didn't occur to me until know how wrong it was. Yeah, I wonder if these teachers knew what they were doing to these kids. She admitted to it when she told us she likes to stress us out on purpose for her own amusement. Popwisers when she said no more. HW on holidays. Giving only certain people HW, especially when they ask the wrong question. Fun times. There was a teacher who was a secret alcoholic. He would always rant and just be annoying. I needed glasses to see the board from far away. I don't need them that bad though, and I hate wearing them. In all my years of school I had one teacher that refused to let me sit in one of the front few rows. Made me sit in the very last seat, literally by myself. She went out of her way to make that class hell for me. Sleeping. Give you the stink eye for walking in early on time or late. Then skimming over slides for 20 minutes, then letting us out 45 minutes early. Didn't teach shit. I ended up dropping his class. Belittle you if you answered a question wrong by making some condescending remark. Math course. I think by the end of semester, college, there was maybe 8 of us who hadn't dropped it. My high school American history teacher taught from the same outline he'd been using his entire career. Just memorization. It wasn't until I had to take history in college that I understood it could be fascinating. I was depressed in 9th grade, so of course I was at the bottom of every class, but one teacher really liked to let everyone know that. I had him for 2 classes, French and college prep. In French he would call on me knowing damn well I don't have the answer, and he would be all like, "Oh, you probably don't know, huh?" Like yeah, no crap. And in college prep, we had like fake money, houses, rent, YK, all that stuff. I had $0, while everyone else was in the thousands or even $1 million. And whenever he changed the money he would put it up on the screen so everyone could see, which obviously made the other kids laugh and go like, "Oh, who's that?" Yay, so I hated him a lot, still do. The most boring guest lecture ever. One of my classmates said remind us who this man is, so she never takes a class with him. The main instructor in my EMT course pulled me to sleep with her lectures. I do not know how I was well rested, caffeinated, and interested. Somehow I managed to not fall asleep during the class, but it was a close call at times. At the end of the course, another of the instructors asked for feedback, so I told him this. His only response was that I wasn't the first to say this. I thoroughly believe my 10th grade English lit teacher just straight up hated children and teaching altogether. She was caustic, vitriolic, and acerbic, while also condescending, patronizing, and infantilizing, and an all-around asshole who made life miserable for everyone in the class, if not the entire school. God forbid you were neurodivergent, like me, and couldn't retain any information from her talking at you in monotone with no written notes or visual aids teaching style. She was basically the stereotype of the strict nuns in Catholic school who would slap your knuckles with a ruler, but without the habit or a physical ruler, she would slap you with her words. In closing, fuck you to hell and back, Mrs. Carol, with an E, and don't you forget it. Ramirez. My English 101 teacher obviously wanted to teach a critical thinking course. His syllabus and even the books he had us buy were all about critical thinking. I wasn't there to learn critical thinking, I was there as a prereq for a writing class, and I didn't want to fall short in my later classes. Fortunately I found a better English professor who let me transfer over a week in. An English professor who verbally critiqued your paper at the desk in front of the class loud enough for everyone to hear. Literally made several people cry because of how harsh he was. 3rd grade teacher had a glass-breaking scream that she used way more than any banshee, siren or gorgon would. Evil, and once screamed at the class when we were all counting by 5s because she stopped at 20 and we kept going. My teacher used to let females do anything in class: braid each other hair, sit in the back of the class and talk through the whole period, be loud, and anything, but guys couldn't even ask each other for school essentials like a extra pencil or paper or eraser. She'll literally send boys to the office for it. I hated it so much. Loudly crying skull skull. The professor for my theory of computation class spent 5 classes going through P equals NP. All of us were lost before the end of day 1. When someone asked a question about something from the previous day, he said, "I'd be teaching this class differently if this was MIT." I immediately replied, "If we were at MIT, we'd have a different professor." First year of high school, I had a teacher who would make each student stand up to answer a question in front of the whole class. The class was maths, which fills me with fear in the first place.